I want you to be different, God told them. I want you to be particular. I want you to hate them. Because they're not good. Because they don't want to know. And they don't want to follow my purpose. They want to follow their own purpose. Whatever is in their heart. Whatever they decide is the good purpose. The good and right purpose. To follow and to do. That's what they do. They're not interested in my purpose. So I want you to hate them. But I want you to love each other. I want you to find out what I'm trying to do. I want you to understand the brotherhood. And don't hate your brother in your heart. And don't hate him to his face. Love him, lift him up, help him. Don't exploit him and get more for yourself at his expense. Because that's what the animals do. I want you to obey this command set that I'm giving you. Because it will declare to the world that you're different. You're my people. You want to try to find me. And you don't just obey every craving that wells up in your heart and your mind to do and to follow, because that's what they do. That's what all of them do. They lift up these little figurines that they carve and they say, "Isn't our God great?" And it seems ridiculous, but when they all agree that this little figurine, this little image of their God is the better God, it becomes that. It gets some power. So don't do that. But that's what they do. That's what the animals do. That's what religion is all about. Agreeing that their version, their idea about God that they carve out of ideas is better than all the other ideas. So they lift up their ideas about God and their doctrines about God that need to be followed. And they say, this is our God, this is your God. And they agree, so that God has power. That's the Christian God. That's the Jewish God. That's the Christadelphian God. That's the Muslim God. It's all the same. It's all about agreement. It's all about the power of human agreement. And that's what God was really trying to tell these Israelites. Don't agree with them. Don't mix with them. Don't give your daughters to them in marriage. Don't take their daughters. Don't mix with them. Don't be mixed in with them, because they will take you over and you'll be worshiping your own God. Solomon is the example of this. The great example. The Antichrist. The anti-son of David. The one who exemplified this mixing by indulging in whatever craving and impulse came into him. The impulse for wealth and riches and glory and honor and everything that the animal holds up and says, this makes a man good and special and right. Gold. Your beast you shall not mate with a different kind. Your field you shall not sow with different kinds. A garment of different kinds of thread shall not be donned by you. All pointing to the same thing. Don't be like the animals. Be different. Be holy. Because I'm holy. I'm against them. I'm not for them. and they're not for me. They're for their own purpose. They do their own purpose. They do their own will. And I have a purpose. And I want those who want my purpose with me where I am. That's the most important thing to be said about God. The animals do their purpose. They always do their purpose. They always promote their selves, their kind, their family, what has them living in it, their name. But I have my own purpose, and I want those who want me to have my purpose to be part of that purpose. I want those who want more than what they see. They look out and they see it's the same thing everywhere. People act the same way. They just pretend it's different. They just cover up their raw drive that drives them with things that make it look like it's different. But really, they act the same way all the time. They're acting the same way now as they acted then. It's just that the details are different, but the motivation is exactly the same. I want people who want something different than what all the animals are always gravitating toward, trying to fulfill in themselves, trying to get for themselves. I want people who don't want what the animals say is good. Just because they can really reasonably look and say, it's all the same shit. Whether they're lifting up intelligence or beauty or this religion or this God or that God, or themselves in their own goodness as good, and then trying to attain that, or whatever. They always gravitate toward the same thing, because they're really always doing the same thing, is they're fulfilling their own purpose, and that is the drive that's common to them all. That's what can be seen in them all, back then and right now. We are inherently better than all the rest. It's just very simple. I want people who want something better than that. I want people who are willing to give up their right to get and maintain these very petty, simply petty things. Things that aren't really very important, but they spend their lives chasing after them like they are important. I want people who can see what's real, and who want what's real, and who aren't satisfied with the shit that the animals around them offer and say, this is good, seek after this, go after this. And they say, oh, that's good, I want that. And they spend their lives trying to get all those things. Whatever it is, whatever they agree is good, they seek after it to get. And they don't ever seek after me. They don't ever want anything more. They're always satisfied with the shit that the other animals are offering them. Because that shit, when they run after that shit, it gives those who are offering it the same thing that they're trying to get. It's the same motivation.